Hi Virgo, welcome to your September 2016 general tarot reading. Rena here. And so I'm going to do my typical spread, and then I'm going to pick one of the oracle cards because I want to. I have energy oracle cards. I'll show you the box. This is by Sandra Ann Taylor. And I never use these, and I have them. I saw other readers, and I'm sure that there are a whole bunch of different types. I would prefer to have the ones with the meanings on the cards because it makes it a lot easier. But I thought it would be fun to incorporate that into my reading, so I'm going to do that. But first, for the cards. Just to let you know, first three cards I picked were all cups. Pretty emotional. Well, that is an apropos ending, that's for sure. Because, you're having an eclipse in your sign. I think it's 9 degrees of Virgo. If it is, that's pretty cool too, because the number 9, this is a 9 universal year. September is a 9 month. And it actually is a 9 universal month because I think, you add the universal year to the universal month. To the month. So that's an 18, that's a 9. So, this is a time with your eclipse where you may be starting a whole new cycle. And, of course, that is your new moon. That's your birthday new moon. So that in itself would be a normal beginning. But then on top of that, it's an eclipse, so it's even more powerful. And so that may be indicating that you're changing in some way. So the overlying theme of September is the Seven of Cups. And some of you may have some dreams that you have wanted to fulfill. And they're very much on your mind as you go through the month. And your challenge is to make sure that you don't allow your desire for whatever your fantasy or your dream is to cause you to accept something that is less than ideal. Like, in other words, don't be so anxious to have something that you want, that you're willing to settle for whatever somebody tells you something is. Remember, they say all that glitters isn't gold. And this can, relate to any kind of job offer, if that happens for you, but it can also relate to a romantic situation. In the recent past, we have the Three of Cups, and typically what I see with this card is you may be single, you may be hanging a lot with friends, maybe you had a breakup and you have kind of reconnected with some friends. And because most of you are women out there, they may be women friends. The cups are a feminine energy, which is probably why they're showing women here. And it's a very fertile energy. It's a number 3. So there's a lot of emotional well-being generated in this particular card, but there's a sense of celebration. So it just may be that you're letting down your hair. Maybe you were in a long-term relationship and you finally found the courage to leave it, and now you're just deciding to spend time with people that you have fun with, people that really appreciate you for you. And maybe that's kind of a revelation. Maybe you were in a situation where you were with somebody who was criticizing you a lot and not appreciating you, and now you are reconnecting with those people who do appreciate you. But whatever's going on, it feels like fun. It doesn't feel like something drudgery or that you're not getting your emotional needs met. And yet, look at what we have for the near future. We have the Four of Cups. So this is kind of like the satiation point. It's kind of like, this is what makes me think that some of you may have just recently ended with a relationship. And because of that, you know, I'm just going to show you what this person looks like. And this person is being offered something and it isn't interested because they're focusing on what they don't have. But with the Three of Cups, it may be, you know, like you feeling that you were let loose and you can enjoy yourself, but then it quickly loses its luster. You know, maybe it's because you're a Virgo. Maybe you don't really like to party that much and you prefer to have a routine and to live a very orderly life. And maybe you had a little lapse where you were like staying out late, maybe celebrating too much, and now you're in this state of dissatisfaction and you're ready for the next thing. You're not really interested in whatever it is that you're doing. You reach that satiation point. What the higher message says is the King of Pentacles. Now, usually with the higher message, it's like looking at the situation from a much more, a less emotional and more, and even more spiritual perspective than just the dollars and cents or the, you know, whatever, what have you. And that could mean that, you know, because I have this habit of automatically lapsing into love readings when I'm doing a general reading. And I always have to keep reminding myself. And this card is the perfect proof of that. The higher message, or the message from your angels, or just the spiritual message may be that you're meant to own your own business. Maybe you've been working for other people, and maybe you were even networking and trying to, you know, amass. Maybe you were just trying to schmooze and it didn't get you anywhere. And now you're dissatisfied because you tried to do all these things to advance your career. And the universe says you need to be your own boss and that you can do it. And you can actually be a very financially successful person at it. So for those people that this card resonates, you know, obviously you don't have to just quit your job overnight. Maybe you can just stick your toe in and start doing things in a very small level. You don't have to invest any money or very little, and see how it goes and take it from there, you know. But that's kind of an exciting thing. For other people who are resonating more with this being a love reading, it could be an earth sign person. Maybe somebody who has a child, who's raising a child, possibly by himself, I don't know. But that would be a Taurus, a Virgo, or a Capricorn. So that would be somebody who would be pretty compatible. I was just thinking about two Virgos together and wondering, like, if who's the last one to pick off the lint from the other's sweaters. But that's another story, right? The thing that crosses you is in the challenge position is the Lover's card. In the challenge position, this can be, for some people, because I read this as a reverse card, it can be a relationship that's based on sex. If this is a love relationship, it can also relate to, if you are in a business situation, excessive materialism. And for some people, there may be a problematic Gemini who is creating issues, and yet for other people, it could be that you must choose between two people. Well, that's pretty interesting. And what helps you during this time, as opposed to crosses you, is the Five of Wands. So in a business situation, and I see this a lot with business, it's all about competition. But see, I don't like competition myself. I really don't. I never have. And if you're the same as I am, it's really, this card, I've seen this card being called Friendly Competition by Anthony Lewis, I believe, in Tarot Plain and Simple. And so it might just mean that you have to get into the fray. Maybe you're somebody who, and I'm thinking about if you're starting your own business, maybe you're somebody who's shy about tooting your own horn. And for instance, networking opportunities can present themselves. And if you are able to really see yourself as talented and promote yourself properly, you could end up with clients without having to invest any money. And sometimes you really have to kind of get into the fray and be willing to directly go for it and go for what you want. And if you see, there's a bunch of people in the mix. So it's definitely a situation where everybody's trying to get theirs. But, one of the things that I think holds people back is that they think that, and this is on a very subtle level, they think, either that they're not good enough to, qualify being part of the whole competition, or the whatever we call it, when you really, let's say you're trying to go after a certain job within your company, and you're kind of hanging back and you're not really putting your all into it because you don't want to have your coworkers as your adversaries. This is a card about making a sport out of it. It's not about being nasty. And so if you really feel like you deserve something, then you're more likely to go after it. If you have doubts, and this can also be about a person. Sometimes people think they're doing the noble thing by, I'm not going to, pursue anybody because I don't want to be too pushy or something like that. But then on the other hand, you can be too subtle, right? So you have to find a good balance so that the other person knows that you're interested, at the very least. And Gemini is so cool that they can really give the impression, a false impression, that they're not interested when they maybe are totally interested. But this is what I like the most, the World card, because this is what I was talking about. This is a victory. This is the end of a cycle, the end of an era. And you have made it through. You have some reason to feel good about yourself. And as you go into the following month, into October, you're going to be in a whole different place. And you're going to be, going on a new journey and having new experiences. And some of you may decide that you're going to be by yourself for a while. If you were in a long-term relationship, you may want to spend more time with people just on a social basis and not have to be committed to a partner. That makes total sense to me. Really relish in what you've accomplished. Even if you got a divorce and you have children, realize that you created those children with that partner, whether or not you can't be in the same room for 10 minutes without a screaming match. There was something that brought you together, and there is something that came out of that relationship that is very good. You may have had children, and that would be wonderful. Or just the fact that you touched people's lives as a couple for however long that you did. All of these things, there's nothing that is wasted. There's nothing that is not part of the divine plan as far as I'm concerned. Even when it feels very off, then you know you're not aligned with whatever it is. But it's not a wasted effort, because anytime that you realize that you have to be aligned and you have to feel good about what you're doing in order to really, have a good run of things in life, that's a great day when you come to that realization. So consider everything a victory. Realize that you're closing one door, you're going to be opening another. And I wish you all the best, Virgo, as you go into your next month. Take care. Bye.